been a long time fan of The Color Purple. I saw the 1985 film. I was probably a bit too young, but you know how that goes. To where eventually I read the book when I was in high school, read it again when I was in college, and then I saw the musical on the stage for the first time at the Fox Theater. I want to say 2017, 2018 or somewhere around that time. And I loved it as well. There were a couple of things that bothered me about it, but I guess we can get to those. But here are the things I loved and the things that I did not like about the new movie musical adaptation of The Color Purple. Let's see, what did I like about it? I did enjoy the choreography. I think the way that they took the musical numbers from the stage and decided to really use space, really use their creativity. I think about the opening sequence, A God Works in Mysterious Ways, or the Lord Works, something like that. The Lord Works in Mysterious Ways. That was pretty amazing. Suge Avery's Coming to Town was great. Push the Button. They were definitely trying to push some buttons there, and they did. But all in all, I just remember being very much taken aback by the dancing in the new Color Purple. That was outstanding. The new song with Halle Bailey, yeah. I don't know anything. Goodness. Oh yeah, Halle Bailey. I hope it wasn't the other one. What was it? Keep it moving, keep on moving. That was really good. I thought it was just a really cute song, pretty catchy, and just done very well. And one of the best songs from it. To me, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed the nods that they made towards the 1985 film version. They already know. They probably even knew that when they did the stage musical for the first time that a lot of people were going with the expectation that there would be some sort of thing that makes people remember the 1985 film. And there wasn't too much of that in the stage version. The stage musical really relied on the book a bit more than the 85 film did, to an extent. But this film, they definitely included a lot of things that were present in the 85 film that were missing from the stage musical. Just little one-liners here and there. I think we had Eyes Married Now. Yeah, we had Eyes Married Now. I don't know, who said that? I remember Suge Avery saying that to her father in the 85 film. I think they had Sophia say it this time, but I think she may have said that too. We had Miss Seeley's Blues in this film version, but I don't believe that that was in the stage version of the Color Purple. We had God Is Trying to Tell You Something that was thrown into this film. I'm not going to discuss that too much right now. And several other things, but yes. What things did I not particularly enjoy? And I'm sure that there are many that may disagree. I don't believe that this had any real show-stopping song. There was no "and I'm telling you" moment, home, like from the Wiz moment. I just didn't get that from anything. I know someone is saying, well, I'm Here was spectacular. I don't think it was that spectacular. I don't, and I'm not sure why. I'm not saying that it wasn't sung well, but it didn't hit the way that I think it should have. And that's usually dealing with lack of dramatic context. So where I'm Here is placed in the film this time compared to the stage musical, I believe that it is in a different spot than what it is on stage. And that can cause it not to hit emotionally the way that it should. I'm not going to give away too many spoilers, but I just don't think it was placed in the right spot. And the context surrounding it this time, I think, was a little different. So, but I just don't remember being moved by any song in it. I mean, or there was just no show-stopping song that is supposed to happen in a musical. I don't think the audience cared about I'm Here. Now, I'm not going to generalize and say that nowhere, no one cared about it, but it didn't hit the way that it should have. It was missing the solid drama that I think that should be there. When you watch the stage musical, it's very difficult sometimes for stage actors to give the emotion required for certain themes and certain scenes. Like, you just don't get, they either have to over enunciate, over emote to get all of those things across on stage, versus the film, you know, we can have whispering going on. We can have cameras close up on their faces to actually see what's going on, and things that can be left unsaid, that can be implied, and you can get a lot of tense moments on film that you can't do on stage. So I was a little excited. I'm like, we're gonna get the musical with a film budget and just more room for good dialogue, good tense moments. And a lot of that was rushed or just not performed well. Everything can't be included, but I just really felt like the storylines were rushed. I want to say in this film musical, Suge Avery performed at Harpo's Juke Joint, went out to the movies with Celie. They were intimate. She got up and found the letters that Albert had been hiding from Celie. She revealed the letters to Celie and left for Memphis all in a night. I want to say all of that happened in like a night in the film. And it's just kind of like, golly, like that was so freaking fast. A lot of the conflicts were resolved so quickly. Suge Avery and her father made up over that very bad, watered down version of God Is Trying to Tell You Something in just that one scene. I don't know. I just feel like they could have kept that. Dinner table curse scene. I don't know. I feel like we got to that very, very fast. I don't know how long the movie had gone on, and she was already putting the curse on Mr. at the table. I was like, dang. I couldn't get with that. I would have liked a little bit more just development and just time with scenes. I don't believe they gave the Nettie letter sequence enough time. I was very excited to see what they would do with, you know, retelling her journeys in Africa and how that would translate onto a 2023 film screen, and what they would do with this musically. Would they add anything new musically? Literally think about how tense and dramatic the shaving scene was in the 85 film version. You won't find me a scene that's more tense than that 1985 shaving scene. The way it goes along with the African scarification ceremony, with Suge Avery running to save them, with the musical build-up in the background. It's like that, not to say they needed that this time, but those moments were just missing. There was not enough build-up, not enough tension, and not enough drama. And I guess, you know, someone said, well, it wasn't a film, it was a movie musical. I know that, but I feel we could have gotten a better mix of the two. It was just lacking in the emotion and the drama section for me. Like, why did we not get any of Celie's like Dear God moments? I feel like those could have been portrayed on screen in this era so well. We didn't hear, I don't think we got Celie even saying Dear God in this until the very end, before they sing The Color Purple. She said, Dear God, dear sky, dear trees, or whatever, however it goes. And it made it less relevant because she had never even said anything the whole movie about that. And then so it's, at that point, it's kind of random. And there's no real connection, whereas we know from the original book, she's doing nothing but writing letters to God. Addressed like that is essentially how it is introduced. That's the first line of the book. I want to say in the stage musical, that happens throughout the musical where she is singing to God, and this time it's just like it's just not there. And then you pop up at the end and she's saying it has no real connection. It lacked a lot of that. An over romanticizing of Celie and Suge's relationship. And what do I mean by that? I'm not saying that there's anything wrong that they did that. I think they're missing the point, or the point doesn't shine through as to why Celie became romantically involved with Suge Avery to begin with. It's not clear, and I just think the fact that they show it as like an early sexual infatuation where she's in the bathtub, and the song that they sing together really misses the mark as to why Celie was attracted to Suge to begin with. This movie musical kind of presents it as Suge is beautiful, Suge shows up, Celie is excited, and they fall in love, when we know in the original text, and even with the 85 film, it was less of like, we like each other, let's have sex. It was more so, I didn't know that sex was good. The only sex I've had is with my father and with this man that I was essentially just given to. And Suge tells her, no, sex is actually good. Your private parts can behave in this manner. Let me show you. Not, we love each other and we're actually lesbians and people freak out about that type of thing. No, it was a bit deeper, and I just don't think the movie captured that. The movie musical captured that in the way that it should. And it could have done that with a little bit more time, with dialogue, and a little bit more time with just exploring that theme. I do think that Danielle Brooks was great in this film. I think her acting, her singing, and just her embodying the role of Sophia came across the screen very well. I was very, very pleased with everything that she did. And I knew that I would be. I don't know if I sound biased, but I do think that she did an excellent job with the role of Sophia. I think that the role of young Celie, she played her part very, very well, and she had a great voice. And I could just see that being lost in the bill of stars that we're supposed to be excited about, but I think that she was great. But I do think the sets that they did were very nice. A good little nod to the time period that it was supposed to be. And it looked pretty genuine for the most part. Everyone was a talented singer. There wasn't a song that I thought was sung poorly. Things that were changed about the setting, or just things that were changed about the storyline in general. I was a little bit surprised at them being in a Georgia coastal town. I'm not sure if that was ever, it certainly wasn't the case in the book. I know that they were supposed to be in I'm just gonna say a landlocked southern Georgia town. And the fact that they were on the coast in this film is not a big deal, but it seemed like they tried to put it in our face a little too much. And I'm like, why are y'all trying to make this Savannah? Is there a reason? I don't know. I don't know where they were going with that. And it's not a big deal, but that did kind of just, the fact that Miss Celie's Blues was placed in this film where it was upset me. They took the song out and made Miss Celie's Blues. They put it after Celie had already escaped Albert. She's already received the letters. She's already placed the little hex or curse onto Mr. And she's gone to Memphis doing all right for herself. I don't know if she was an entrepreneur at that point, but they placed the song there when I feel she didn't even need the song. She didn't even need the song to be sung to her at that point in her birthday party. Even in the book, and certainly the 1985 film, Miss Seeley's Blues, which is arguably could be the most popular song from The Color Purple. It may be a song that people think about when they hear it. Sister, you've been on my mind. Whatever. That is supposed to come in one of Seeley's, I don't know if I can say darkest moments, but she's supposed to be feeling very out of place, very downtrodden, in the juke joint, wearing clothes that she doesn't like. She feels out of place. The women in the juke joint should be talking about her and looking at her funny. Whereas this time, like I say, everything was rushed. Suge gave her something glamorous to wear to the juke joint, and she looks okay, and nothing happens in the juke joint this time, but it's supposed to be a very low moment for Seeley. It's the first time that she is ever publicly acknowledged for anything. And that 85 film scene will actually bring tears to my eyes to see Suge introduce the song and talk about how Miss Seeley scratched it out of her head, and the way that the room would part and all attention would be on Seeley, and the way that she was embarrassed but yet loving every moment of it, to be acknowledged and have a gift presented to her in the version of a song with a woman that she has idolized and fantasized about. You know, that is really powerful. It's missing the context again that, one, in this movie musical, we didn't have Suge Avery down bad for too long. She went to Albert and Seeley's house. All she was drunk, whereas we know in the movie and in the book, she is supposed to be very sick, very down, to where Seeley could bathe her, fix her up, and even scratch a song out of her head. But it happened so fast in this version, you just wouldn't even know that she went through any type of rehabilitation at all. And there you go. It lacks the correct emotion that should be conveyed, and I didn't appreciate that at all. I think my cousin and I kind of debated this for a second, but I feel like Mr. was shown a bit too nice in this one. I don't want to say too nice because he wasn't nice, but there was a nice undertone and a bit of a lighthearted sense to him, playing the banjo, and I don't know. I don't know if that's something to truly dislike. A lot of people have gotten on the film for, negative images of Black men. And so I don't know if maybe they were trying to undo that a bit. They did spend a bit more time showing his redemption this go round. I think maybe they did a little bit of that in the book. I know the 85 film, there was nothing to like about Danny Glover playing Mr. There was not one redeeming facet of Mr. They barely even let us know that he's the reason that Nettie and those came back in the 85 film. It was vague. Back then, I didn't even know what was going on, whereas this time they spent a little time to let us know that that's what occurred. So that's nice. I do think that movie musicals that are set around difficult themes can sometimes have a problem with it not being conveyed the way that it should. "You told Harpo to beat me" has become a very iconic line. It's been parodied. It's just ingrained in pop culture at this point. But people, I won't say people, but the movie musical and the musical itself, it can't help but take moments like those and kind of soften them when it's supposed to actually be a legitimate, difficult conflict that's occurring. Whereas now it's a song, and I do think the message is conveyed well through the song, but some of the over-the-top antics with like the extra head rolls and eye rolls, it just turns it into a more of a like, I know that's right. Something about the seriousness of a lot of those themes just don't come across. Seeley's ugliness, with her father calling her ugly, is like you get laughter from the audience. I don't know if I can't blame the movie for that. I even remember on the stage when I saw it at the Fox, like people laughing at those moments, because musicals do something to where they make things that actually are not funny seem funny. And that's just something I don't like. And I feel like since it was a film, we had more opportunities to make it more serious and still be a musical, and that didn't happen. It's hard to discuss this film objectively for what it is without referencing the book, the 1985 version, or you can't really do it, but if I had to, it's a wonderful work of art that, okay, I'm not lying, I'm serious, but let me take a step back because that was a bit much. It's a good movie. I'd give it like a B minus possibly. It is good. It was well done, objectively. With just removing any context, it is good. With the context, yes, there are some things that fall short and some things that I wish had been done better, but I guess you can say that about everything. Other than that, that's my review. I don't have too much else to say, so yeah.